Hey there, welcome to my channel B&B Update Us 24. Steffy accuses Bill of being responsible for Liam's shooting, and Sheila sobs at Luna's passing. Lee tells Penelope she's in shock in the hospital. Poppy maintains that she fully understands and supports her statement, "I'm glad my daughter's dead." Lee feels sorry for Luna. Poppy is dragged into another room by Lee, who informs her that she is repulsive and that Luna is her biological mother. Poppy is relieved to have her gone. How could someone so disgusting be her sister? Lee lashes out that she's a bad mother. Lee says, Luna never had a chance. Poppy tells Lee that she should quit acting as like she cared about her and Luna because she never gave a damn about either of them. Lee recalls Luna as a little girl who was morally upright and a good girl. She is aware that his destiny would have been different if her mother hadn't been a pill-popping sex addict. Lee feels embarrassed to have her sister's last name. Lee Poppy B&B. Poppy says she's relieved and not mean. She lists all of Luna's transgressions, including allowing her to fester in jail. What if she had harmed Hayes or Kelly? The fact that she won't have to see her again makes her happy. The fact that Luna could have been helped infuriates Lee. She was so much more deserving than you. God rest Luna's poor, tortured soul, she hisses. I feel sorry for that girl. Deacon is sent on a mission by Sheila. Deacon asks Sheila how she's feeling and gets her a drink in her room. She is less sleepy. Deacon describes how frightening it was to receive the hospital call. He believed he had lost her. They kiss after making jokes about her losing another toe. Deacon Sheila gives B&B a kiss. Deacon and Sheila agree to reinstate toe cookies as a menu item. She wants to see her granddaughter, so she struggles to get up. She is stopped by Deacon. He just wants to be with Luna right now, but he will check on her soon. They both giggle as she slaps him, asking, "What's left of you?" It might have been far worse, so Deacon is happy they can make jokes about her being completely incapacitated. He asks how she knew Luna would be at the beach after he shoots her. Sheila explains that she came to inform her that she was leaving, but she insisted on having a spectacular farewell. She tells Deacon that she and Luna are very similar and are family. She believes she can assist her. Deacon lets out a sigh. Sheila requests that he simply go check on her. He concurs. Liam doesn't wake up. Finn, Steffy, and Hope discover that Liam is stable but hasn't recovered consciousness in his room. After the nurse departs, Steffy and Hope go to the bed to inform Liam that he stopped Luna and that they are present. He must now continue to battle. They discuss how wonderful a friend and parent he is. Hope and Steffy go, and Deacon visits Liam's room, saying, "We can't lose you." After asking Finn about Liam, he informs him that Sheila is inquiring about Luna. Bill is the target of Steffy's rage. Carter informs Hope and Steffy in the waiting room that he contacted Wyatt but that he didn't answer. He didn't want to leave a voicemail telling him. Ridge and Taylor enter at that moment. Steffy runs to give them a tearful embrace. She informs them that the next 48 hours are crucial for Liam. Ridge promises to see it through. During their conversation, Steffy informs her parents that Liam saved Sheila's and her life. Steffy informs them that Liam hasn't been strong in a long time, despite their assurances that he is resilient and will overcome. Bill shows up just as she appears to be ready to inform them of his brain tumor, saying, "Where is he?" Hope reports that he survived the procedure. "Thanks you," yells Steffy. "What are you talking about?" Bill asks. "You don't deserve to be here." According to Steffy's tirade, Luna attempted to murder her. In an attempt to save her, Liam was shot. "You succeeded. Liam is paying the price," Ridge remarks. Taylor informs him that their daughter might have been killed. Steffy screams, "Leave now." "I apologize," Bill cries. "I'm so sorry. I will not abandon my son. I am unable to." Bill B&B. Finn delivers the bad news. The nurse in Sheila's room inquires about the second toe she previously lost. Sheila jokes that in order to make things equal, her granddaughter ought to have shot her in the other foot. The nurse departs as Deacon and Finn check in. Finn inquires as to Sheila's level of suffering. She's concerned about Luna, yet she's not. What's up with your daughter? Sheila explains, I know this is difficult for him, but Luna is their flesh and blood. They can't give up on her, when Finn doesn't reply. According to Finn, Bridget and his mother collaborated on Luna. She didn't make it, despite their best efforts. Luna is gone. No, Sheila sobs. No, she sobs as Deacon envelops her. Sheila B.M.B. Liam is loved by all. Carter assures Hope he'll wait outside as she enters Liam's room. Hope sits next to her ex-husband and tells him that she needs him to keep fighting even though she knows he's exhausted. She tells him that he promised her he wouldn't be leaving anytime soon. I'm not prepared. We cannot let you go. This cannot be farewell. Bill hates himself in the corridor, knowing that everyone despises him at the moment. However, he must see his son. Steffy snarls that Liam is in a hospital bed because of him. Are you aware that Luna pulled a gun on Will? She continues. Bill finds out that she has been pressuring him, expressing a desire to be with him, and that he tried to stop her by wearing a wire. Why am I just learning about this? Exclaims Bill. Steffy yells. Because you are contributing to the issue, he could have as well shot Liam himself. Ridge threatens that Bill will live with hauntings for the rest of his life if Liam dies. Bill complains that ever since Liam entered his life, he has let him down. Ridge claims he's a nice man, adding, and he still loved me. He's more of a man than he will ever be, but Bill laments that he called him weak because of it. He must tell him he loves him and exhort him to fight. I'm sorry, but I have to see my son. Perhaps that was the one positive thing he gave him. My son must survive. Steffy leaves after shaking her head. When Steffy enters Liam's room with Hope, she inquires, any changes? Hope gives a headshake. She is reassured by Steffy that this is not the end. It isn't possible. Kelly and Beth won't lose their father to Luna Nozawa because Liam will survive. They cling to one another while Hope nods. Sheila is devastated to hear that Luna has left, and Steffy lashes out at Bill until he sobs and accepts responsibility for Liam's shooting. Sheila lost another toe, and Poppy was relieved when Lee pronounced Luna dead. Lee believes her sister is in shock in the hospital. Poppy reiterates her gratitude for her daughter's passing. Everyone is stunned. Lee tells her sister that she is repulsive and pushes her into a room. Poppy is simply relieved to have her daughter gone. How someone so evil could be Lee's sister is beyond her comprehension. Luna was never going to succeed. She should cease acting like she cares, Poppy advises. Luna was a good kid as a child, as her sister recalls. She has good morals. She never knew her, according to Poppy. Lee is certain that her life would have been different if her mother hadn't been a pilloppy sex addict. Even having the same last name as her makes her feel embarrassed. Poppy brings up all of Luna's transgressions with her sister. She is glad to be gone because she was determined to destroy everyone's life. Lee believes that by denying responsibility, she is making Luna into the person she is today. She would have heard her daughter's cry for assistance if she hadn't been dulled by males. However, she was simply too self-centered. Finn, Hope, and Steffy enter Liam's room. They assure him that he is the reason they are secure. They need him to continue fighting because he fought for them. Hope claims that they all adore him and are unable to let him go. Deacon tells Sheila how scared he was when he received a call from the hospital and gets her a drink. She loses another toe, they joke. He kisses her and adds that 8 is the ideal number for her. They can reintroduce toe biscuits to the menu, she notes. He offers to check on Luna himself and tells her that she has to rest when she tries to get up. All he needs is more time with her. He is relieved that they can move around. He doesn't know what he would do if he lost her, and things could have turned so much worse. She describes how, after making evasive threats, she found Luna at the beach. He can sense that she wants to assist, but Luna doesn't seem to be able to. Sheila claims that they have a lot in common. She shot Taylor and Brooke. She continues to believe she can assist Luna. There is yet time for her. Deacon consents to inquire about her granddaughter's condition. Before asking him how Luna is doing, Deacon locates Finn and inquires about Liam. They go back to Sheila's room, where she is making jokes about her toe with a nurse. Sheila expresses her concern for Luna to her son. After a period of silence, Finn reveals that although Lee and Bridget did their best, Luna passed away during her recuperation. Carter tells in the waiting area that he called Wyatt but that he didn't answer. Taylor and Ridge show up. Steffy weeps in front of them. According to her father, Liam is a resilient child who will persevere. When she tells them that Sheila saved her life, they are shocked. Ridge reiterates that Luna will be okay. Bill arrives just as she is going to reveal that he has a tumor. Steffy accuses him of this and begins lecturing him. His own kid was shot after she warned him not to trust Luna. Bill refuses to leave his son even after she tells him to go. Bill has to visit his son, even if he knows they despise him at the moment. He's the last person Liam needs to see, Steffy assures him. They inform him that Will was shot by Luna. Bill is held responsible for everything by Steffy, who tells him that he might as well have fired the gun. Ridge claims that this will follow him around for the rest of his life. Bill acknowledges that he has dismissed Liam as weak and consistently failed him. He is aware that he was the weak link. Bill sobs as he says he must embrace his son and plead with him to fight. Determination is perhaps the one thing he gave him. My son must survive. Bill sobs. Hope goes back to Liam's room and pleads with him to continue fighting. They are not prepared to let him go. This cannot be farewell. It doesn't end this way, Steffy whispers as she joins her. Luna won't take their father away from their daughters. According to the most recent spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Bill Spencer, who is motivated by fierce loyalty and fatherly instincts, may have finally discovered the missing piece in the constantly assembling puzzle of Liam's spiraling behavior. This revelation comes from a top-tier specialist that Bill surreptitiously flew in from Europe rather than through confrontation or confession. This audacious and unusually tactful move ends up being the most important choice Bill has made in a long time. What does the physician discover? Completely devastating. Liam's paranoia, mood swings, and, most unsettling of all, his inconsistent judgment and memory lapses could all be explained by a tumor that is silent, undetected, and pressing dangerously on his frontal lobe. The shadow of Grace Buckingham's involvement, a lady whose calm demeanor and medical authority may have been nothing more than the ideal cover for a large and intensely personal deceit, however, is becoming more apparent as the medical truth comes to light. Bill is seen pacing the hospital hallway at the beginning of the episode, his face bearing the weight of weeks, months, of uncertainty and suffering. He has been observing Liam's decline, seeing his kids say and act in ways that don't feel like Liam anymore. There were the tantrums, the restless evenings, and the unwarranted altercations with Hope, Steffy, and even Wyatt. Then came the disappearances, which lasted for hours at a time and had no memory or reason. Bill is familiar with his son. It wasn't heartache. There was no worry. Something else was involved. Something more profound. Something more terrifying. Bill went further, following his instincts rather than accepting superficial explanations for Liam's actions, while everyone else wrote them off as emotional fallout from his shattered relationships. Enter Dr. Corwin Heller, a renowned neurologist and diagnostician with a clientele that includes political elites and royal families worldwide. Bill spent a lot of money to get him to Los Angeles. Silently, out of sight of Steffy, Ridge, and even Brooke. A thorough MRI workup is part of the confidential, rigorous evaluation. Bill's greatest fears are validated when the results show that Liam has a benign but strategically located brain tumor that affects the area of his brain responsible for impulse control, emotional stability, and memory processing. It's both a relief and a heartache for Bill. He is relieved that his son is not going crazy. Heartbreak, because if someone hadn't kept it a secret, this could have been discovered sooner. According to the spoilers, the someone might be Dr. Grace Buckingham. Indeed, Grace, the composed, well-groomed, and well-respected doctor and mother of Paris, who has been subtly influencing Liam's life in recent months. When Liam first started having symptoms, Grace gave him uninvited advice. The picture gets clearer now that Bill's specialist has discovered what was allegedly overlooked. Was Grace hiding something? Grace apparently examined early scans and rejected them as inconclusive. If so, what is the reason? In a sequence that may rank among the most intense confrontations in recent Bold and the Beautiful history, Bill confronts Grace. It begins amicably, with Bill attempting to comprehend and asking questions. However, his tone gets harder the more Grace avoids him. "Were those scans visible to you?" he insists. Surprised, Grace falters a little. Bill, who is now furious, doesn't believe it. "I saw something, there was a shadow, but it wasn't definitive." "You are an expert. This could be serious. You knew. You told him it was nothing." Grace tries to assign blame by bringing up emotional triggers, stress, and trauma. Bill, however, will not be appeased. "You let him to roam around with a ticking time bomb in his brain. Why? Who or what were you protecting?" That question strikes a deep chord with both Grace and the audience. Because it becomes clear during the episode that Grace was more involved in Liam's life than she ever disclosed. Unauthorized medicines and covert therapy sessions were among the minor acts that, by themselves, can appear innocuous or even beneficial. Nevertheless, when combined, they depict a woman controlling a helpless guy when he required sane medical leadership. Was it out of misplaced allegiance to someone, Steffy, that Grace did it? Paris? Or, as we don't yet know, for a more profound personal goal? Bill, though, is eager to learn. Grace is also running out of hiding spots. Liam is reeling in the meanwhile. He's not simply shocked to hear the truth, he's devastated. He feels the full weight of his months-long remorse, which includes hurting Hope, betraying Beth, and accusing Steffy of wrongdoing. He mumbles, "I thought I was going insane." He now acknowledges that he was ill, saying, "I thought I was broken." Worse, someone was aware. Even Liam may not be able to cope with the emotional toll that betrayal has taken. In one of the most unvarnished and impactful scenes the show has featured in years, he breaks down in sobs in his father's arms. Others are reacting fiercely as the truth gets out. Once incensed and perplexed by Liam's actions, Steffy is devastated. As she visits Liam in the hospital and holds his hand while he gets ready for surgery, her immediate reaction is empathy, causing tears to well up in her eyes. She claims, "You weren't yourself. And I'm very sorry I missed it." Hope is also dashed. She now views Liam as someone who needed assistance and was let down by others around him, rather than as a man who emotionally abandoned her. Wyatt, who has mostly avoided the family conflict, goes to the hospital and swears to be there for his brother no matter what. One concern, though, looms large over the support and reconciliation. What will happen to Grace? She might be subject to legal repercussions if she intentionally concealed a medical issue, or worse, fabricated reports or withheld information. Her medical license would be in jeopardy, at the absolute least. The moral fallout, however, is considerably more terrible. She will lose her formerly impeccable reputation and her status as a respectable doctor. Furthermore, there would be catastrophic consequences if her intentions were not solely professional. Because nothing is ever truly concealed in Los Angeles. Additionally, Bill Spencer never stops circling once he gets blood in the water. The tone changes from sadness to resolution by the end of the episode. Surrounded by family members who are finally realizing the reality, Liam is being prepared for surgery. With his arms folded, Bill stands outside the hospital room, looking across the hallway at Grace with a fiery gaze. He holds out a hand as she tries to speak. He says, "You don't get to speak." He then enters the room where his son is lying, determined more than ever to defend his family, not only from outside threats, but also from the smiling faces that lie while wearing white coats. You had your chance to help him, and you chose silence. Although The Bold and the Beautiful has never shied away from melodrama, this plotline, which touches on mental health, medical malpractice, and the strong relationships between dads and sons, may be one of its most realistic and emotionally charged in recent years. The ideal combination of high-stakes narrative is Liam's raw honesty, Bill's intense love, and Grace's ambiguous reasons. Fans are left wondering when the dust settles. In a world where beautiful facades form the foundation, who can be trusted? Luna's false death could lead to a villain legacy or redemption. After Liam shoots Luna Nozawa of B&B, she looks dead, But fans are wondering if Lee saved her niece given her history of fabricating Finn's death. Would Luna come back as the new Sheila or for atonement? Bombshell B&B. Is Luna exactly death? Fans are generating wild theories about Lee's fake death history. Is Luna still there? Soap enthusiasts, grab your remote controls because we have to discuss the recent events on The Bold and the Beautiful. Something about this whole circumstance feels so familiar that I'm sitting here with my jaw on the floor while Luna Nozawa took her last breath yesterday. Call me crazy, but I began to have concerns after Lee Finnegan failed to save her niece from the gunshot wound. Why? Since we have already seen this same playbook. Let's take a quick look back. Do you recall when Sheila Carter shot Finn 3 years ago? Everyone was in sorrow, the case was closed, and he was pronounced dead, but Lee had other ideas. That woman really set up a mock intensive care unit in a hotel room, snuck her kid out of the hospital, and spent months nursing him back to health in secret. Please pardon me if I don't purchase what she is offering this time. The unaccounted for death. Things start to get very interesting at this point. Poppy's answer when Lee informed her that her daughter had passed away was, to put it mildly, not what you would expect from a grieving mother. She expressed her gratitude that Luna was no longer alive. Glad. That one stands out among the icy responses I've witnessed on this show. And what do you know? It's precisely that kind of perverse reaction that would force Lee to perform another one of her amazing rescues. Consider it. How dramatic is it that Liam, who had a bullet in his own chest, shoots Luna, and then neither Lee nor Bridget are able to save her? The same Lee who used simple medical tools to work wonders in a motel room? I'm not alone in sneering at this whole situation. Something doesn't add up here. Is history repeating itself? Look, I've been watching soap operas long enough to understand that death isn't a permanent state, it's more of a hint. However, this specific death possesses every characteristic of a traditional Lee Finnegan fake-out. She has previously demonstrated that she will stop at nothing to keep family members safe. She was shielding Finn from his psychobiomom with Sheila. Now that Poppy is actually commemorating her daughter's passing, Lee's protective tendencies would undoubtedly be triggered by a poisonous mother like that. Not to mention that Luna is both Lee's biological niece and her adopted grandchild. Lee was unable to avoid that double dosage of familial ties. The woman also has a history. Trust people when they show you who they are. Lee has also demonstrated to us that, when it serves her interests, she is the queen of pretending to be dead. Alright, so let's assume I'm correct. When Luna arrives, what will happen if she is recuperating someplace under Lee's careful supervision? Because everyone eventually returns in soap opera land. There are two possible directions here, and to be honest, I'm not sure which would be more explosive. The first path is redemption. Perhaps this close approach with death serves as a serious wake-up call for Luna. She comes to the realization that despite all the horrible things she'd done, someone genuinely cared enough about her to save her. When Luna returned, we could tell that she had changed and was attempting to make amends and ask for forgiveness. Even though it has been done before, a redemption story has a certain allure, particularly for a young character like Luna. Path number 2. Luna embraces her dark side and becomes the next Sheila Carter. This is where things might get really spicy. Consider it. Can you image Luna returning with a vengeance, going after Steffy, Bill, and wreaking havoc for the next generation? She already has the genes, she has demonstrated that she can manipulate people to the fullest, and now she would have a huge axe to grind with everyone who let her die. Luna would be a great fit for the show's requirement for a young antagonist. All of the clues are present. What has convinced me that anything is amiss? The moment. The arrangement. Everything about it seems planned. When Luna flatlines, does Lee simply happen to be there? Poppy just happens to react in the most callous way imaginable? And we're meant to think that Lee, who actually revived Finn from the grave, has suddenly lost her talent? Please. I'll bet you anything that Luna is currently recovering somewhere. Well, maybe not my collection of vintage B&B mugs, but nearly anything. Perhaps Lee has her hidden in a different hotel room, complete with bogus identification and medical equipment. Perhaps she sent her to an institution using a false identity. Having a physician who has a track record of resurrection opens up countless possibilities. If I'm correct, and let's face it, when am I not? This fictitious death has the power to alter everything. Finn would have to face the reality that his mother had deceived him once more. With Luna still out there, Steffy would go crazy. Bill may potentially be held accountable for his first assistance to Luna. And let's not even discuss what would happen to Poppy as a result. However, given her response, she truly deserves whatever karma is in store for her. How long will Lee keep this a secret? That is the true question. Because this is a ticking time bomb, and secrets in soap operas have a shelf life. Is Luna going to make contact? Is Lee going to break under pressure? Will a disguised Luna be spotted at a farmer's market? Hey, more bizarre things have happened during the day. There is no doubt that Luna Nozawa's reappearance will be explosive if she is still alive. The consequences will be severe regardless of whether she returns looking for atonement or retribution. And truthfully, I'm available for everything. The Bold and the Beautiful may have just pulled off their biggest fake-out to date. This is the kind of surprise that makes soap operas legendary. Fans of the soap opera, take note, Luna Nozawa is far from gone. Even the homicidal family members are not allowed to perish under Lee Finnegan's care. In particular, when their own moms desire their death. So, keep a lookout because this secret will rock Los Angeles to its foundation when it is revealed, and it will.